Hi. Thanks for joining us for the tutorial 11 of SmartMaker Advanced Function. During previous tutorials, we have taken a deeper look at atoms' role as the application building blocks, and how to create app using atoms without any coding. And in the last tutorial, we have also implemented formula and referenced variables by simply using atom names. In today's tutorial, we will look at atom style properties. Each atom in SmartMaker are provided with unique style properties that can control how atoms look and behave within the app program. By configuring style properties, you can take the full advantage of atoms' powerful capabilities and implement atoms to best serve your application. For each atoms in SmartMaker, there are various style properties options you can configure and customize for your app program's unique needs. In this tutorial, we will focus on style properties of most frequently used atoms. Now, let's configure style properties of the Design Tools atoms. As we know, Design Tool atoms' main function is to draw a format or decorate an interface in a program. Let's draw a rectangle, an oval, and a rounded rectangle and fit it to the screen. And let's press the shortcut key F2 to enter a number in each atom. Next, we'll select Style Properties. Style properties of the Design Tools atom include item properties and display options. Let's see how these properties work in each atoms. We will set add comma for the first atom, the second atoms to hide 0, and the last atom to display up to 3 decimal places. When you switch to run mode by clicking the icon at the top left corner, you can see that they behave according to their specified properties. Switch back to edit mode, and let's configure display options. Hide property hides the atom from the program screen in run mode. We will set hide property to the first atom, and select toggle for the second atom. Toggle is a function for switching the atom display between hide and display when the shortcut key F9 is pressed during run mode. And for the last atom, we will select strike through, which is a function generally used in accounting that add horizontal line through the display data. So let's go back to run mode and see the properties we just applied. The atom sets to hide is not displayed in run mode, and the atom sets to toggle switches between hide and display when you press the F9 key. And you can see that the last atom's strike through has been properly applied. Next, let's take a look at style properties of picture atoms. Picture atom can be used to load image files. Picture atom can be configured in detail by applying style properties such as align, rotate, and flip from image effects. Next, let's configure tab view's style properties. If you select the tab view atom and draw it on the form, you can see the tab items called tab 1 and tab 2 and 2 viewing windows. Tab view atom can be used to present items in multiple viewing windows when the screen contains large number of processing items or items belonging to the different categories. Right-click on the tab view atom and select Style Properties. Tab view's style properties include tab item, location, size, and page settings. First, let's configure tab title from tab item settings. Click tab 1 and enter the tab title style A and press edit. In the same way, change tab 2 to style B. And we will also type style C to add the third tab titled style C. You can see now that there are 3 tabs in total. As such, you can set the number and title of the tab views to your specification. Location and size settings properties let you set your tab's position and size. By default, tabs are located at the bottom of the tab views, but you can change their locations to top, left, and right. You can also specify where the position of the first tab with indents. And in size settings, you can control the width and height of tabs. From Design Tools atoms, let's move on to the most frequently used atom, which is Data Input atom. Data input atoms are used for entering or displaying data in various formats such as text, number, images, and the speech. Let's take a look at style properties of this very useful atom. Right-click on the Data Input atom and click Style Properties. You can see that it consists of 4 menus: Input Options, Screen Options, Display Options, Input value options. Firstly, input options are properties that configures various input methods for the data input field. If you select number from input options, additional numeric properties, such as number format, decimal settings, value range will appear at the bottom of the settings. The first option, hide 0, applies when the data value is 0 and displays an empty field but stores 0 in the database. Add comma is a property that automatically displays comma every 3 digits. Next, no default float is used to prevent values such as 0.00 being displayed, which is the floating value for 0. From decimal settings, you can also set the number of digits for the decimal place for input and output, or set rounding options to automatically round off, up or down. Finally, value range is a property that allows you to directly specify the minimum and maximum values for integer and float number data type. By setting value range, you can store or process only the value within the specified range. Let's go back to input options and look at the lowercase and uppercase properties. If this property is set, only characters of the specified type will be allowed. Next, password input option display asterisks instead of the entered data, so that the input value won't be seen as it is being entered. This property is often used for password field in a login screen. So far, we have examined input options provided in Atom. Now, let's take a look at screen options to custom data input environment. First, AutoFit is a property that automatically adjusts the size of the input field according to the font size. Let's select this property and use common editing tools at the top to scale the text. As you increase the size of the text, you can see that the input field also automatically expands. Next, Read Only is a property for preventing users from entering or modifying data and make them read only. And Auto Tab is a property that can be implemented to automatically move the focus to the next input field when the set length of data is entered in the previous input field. Let's specify this property and check its operation. And if you select Multiline, the input field will allow input across multiple lines. You can use the Multiline feature to automatically insert line breaks in the data to fit the input field, or allow users to manually insert line breaks using the Enter key. Show Atom Name, the last item in Screen Options, displays the atom name on the empty input field. You can check and edit atom names from the top toolbar. Then, select Show Atom Name and switch to Run mode. On the input field without any data, atom name will be displayed in gray color. This property can be used to provide users with information about what data is required for the input field. Next, let's look at display options for configuring Atom's visibility. Display options for data input atoms consist of 5 properties. Hide, toggle, and strike-through properties are the same as the atoms in the design tools. Let's take a look at Disable property. When Disable is selected, the atom displays data during run mode, but the cursor cannot move to the field, therefore editing is not possible. This is similar to the Read Only property from Screen Options we saw earlier. The difference is that for Read Only, although data can't be added or modified, the cursor movement is allowed. However, in the field set to Disable, not only users can edit the data, but also the cursor is not allowed in the field. And you can also see that the field has a different color. In Help Message field, you can enter a display message for when the cursor is moved to the field during run mode. Using Help Message, you can provide users with descriptions or guidelines regarding the specific input field. Finally, let's look at input value properties. First, Default is a property where you can select the default value to be automatically filled for the input field. Values that can be predefined as default values are listed in the combo box on the right, and you can select and specify the appropriate default value. For example, if you specify the date format, the date will be filled in the specified format. In addition to the default values provided in the list, You can enter your custom default value by entering it in double quotations. Prefix is a property that can be used when the data type is character type. The specified prefix value is not shown in the app program screen, but added in front of the input data when it is stored in the database. You often need a prefix to clearly identify or distinguish your data when you are joining different database tables to build a large number of data tables in your enterprise. Check the prefix applied. You can check the data stored in the database and confirm that the prefix has been entered automatically. Finally, dynamic function is a property that make it easy to implement routine functions for data with well-defined characteristics, such as name, phone number, email address, website, and GPS information. Dynamic function consists of various types of items. For example, let's select a phone number and switch to run mode to enter the phone number. And if you double-click this data on the authoring solution, or touch and hold on mobile devices, you can see that it activates the dial function. In the same way, when you enter an address, you can quickly and easily implement features such as displaying map of the address or sending a mail to an email address. So far, we have seen some of the most commonly used style properties of data input atoms. As mentioned, each atom in SmartMaker are provided with customized style properties. To learn more about the style properties of atoms, please follow us to the Part 2 of Atoms and Style Properties.